Number 10. The Mother.
You're married?
For longer than I can remember. Not that I can remember anything.
This 2003 British drama has almost every kind of forbidden love under the sun. The plot centers around May, a mature woman whose life takes a turn when her husband dies unexpectedly during a visit to their adult children. May, played by Anne Reid, now has a chance to make her life anew in her golden years, taking up old hobbies and starting a passionate relationship with a handsome man half her age. To make things worse, this man is also sleeping with May's daughter, Paula, and he has a dark history of substance abuse and violence. So no, this might not be May's chance for her perfect fairy tale romance after all. Funded entirely by the BBC, The Mother received numerous award nominations, including an ALFS award for Anne Reid's performance. May might have all the makings of a MILF, what with her renewed love for life, but she also qualifies as the even rarer GILF. Score 1 for Daniel Craig for playing her love interest in this film.
Time for bed, Mother, I think, don't you? What? Oh, yes. Sorry.
Number 9. Queen of Hearts.
Hur gammal var den när han dog?
11. Han är dålig i hjärtat.
If for some reason you're in the mood for a movie that's unbelievably uncomfortable to watch, then 2019's Queen of Hearts might be right up your alley. This Danish drama shows us that no matter how successful life can be, love will always be front and center in the lives of most people. The movie revolves around Anne, a successful lawyer who's married to a doctor called Peter. Together, they have 2 daughters, but Peter has a son from a previous marriage that moves in with them. As Anne and her stepson grow closer, a romantic bond begins developing between the two. Never mind that her stepson is still a minor, a complication that Anne, being a lawyer, understands quite well. Queen of Hearts is dangerously close to becoming a smut flick, what with all of the intimate scenes being unsimulated. However, critics agreed that the drama at the center of the story and the powerful performances provided by the cast compensate for some of the most controversial scenes in the film.
En man.
Okej.
Number 8. In the Bedroom.
Hey. Want a beer?
I'm gonna go see if your mom needs any help, okay?
All right, good luck.
With a name like In the Bedroom, you might already be guessing where this movie is going. Spicy names aside, this indie film, directed by Todd Field, is considered one of the best crime dramas of the early 2000s. Oh, and, for the record, the bedroom, in the movie's title, refers to the rear compartment of a lobster trap. Exactly what we were thinking of. In the Bedroom centers on college-aged Frank, the son of a seemingly happy marriage. However, Frank's parents are concerned with their son's beloved Natalie, who is an older, divorced woman with 2 small kids and a violent ex-husband. Natalie is played by Marissa Tomei, an actress who's basically become the very definition of MILF. So much so, in fact, that it's become something of an inside joke in the newest MCU Spider-Man films, where Tomei plays an incredibly alluring version of Aunt May. Even Tony Stark himself couldn't resist Tomei's charms, and it's quite easy to see why.
Frank.
It's a year is not going to make that
No,
big
you
of a
can't do
difference.
that, Frank.
Why not?
Number 7. The Piano Teacher.
L'anarchie ne semble pas être votre fort, Clémer. Pourquoi ne pas vous en tenir à Clémentine? Schubert était un type assez laid. Vous le savez, non?
Winner of 3 different awards at the Cannes Film Festival, 2001's The Piano Teacher stars Isabelle Huppert as Erica Kohut, an unmarried woman with a complicated history with men. Erica lives with her mother, and years of abuse have led her to become an emotional mess. Erica begins a relationship with one of her students, Walter. He's much younger than her, but that's just the tip of the iceberg for this dysfunctional pair. Erica's masochistic tendencies would be enough to drive most men 100 feet away from her, but not Walter. He's decided to stay by her side, even as Erica grows more and more deranged. Huppert's performance in this film is truly unique, being one of the most applauded elements of the film at Cannes. Both Nicole Kidman and Jessica Chastain have mentioned Huppert's performance in The Piano Teacher as an inspiration for their acting careers.
Allez.
Number 6. Milena. This controversial 2000 film, Milena, stars Monica Bellucci as Milena, a beautiful woman who becomes the subject of admiration of Renato, a young boy who's just learning how the world works. Set in Italy amid World War II, Milena also offers audiences a look at growing up in such a harsh reality and how Renato's infatuation with Milena might have been the perfect escape from his harsh reality.
Signora, è vero che vi sposate?
Despite the controversial age gap between Milena and Renato, the story is actually a very touching look at love at a young age. Sure, there are some uncomfortable moments in the film where we just see how low Milena falls from grace, but most of it is relatively done in a tasteful manner. However, some scenes were still considered too explicit for some markets. In territories such as the US and the UK, for example, more than 16% of the film was scrapped by censors. Number 5. Y tu mamá también.
¿Con alguna?
Este güey cabrón.
¿Qué?
Este cabrón no ha cogido más que con su vieja.
What begins as a seemingly run-of-the-mill road movie quickly turns into an exploration of friendship, love, and life itself in 2001's Y tu mamá también. Directed by Alfonso Cuarón, this heart-wrenching film focuses on the relationship between two best friends and their mature beloved. Two teenagers, Julio and Tenoch, have just parted ways with their girlfriends. They embark on a trip across Mexico with a woman in her late 20s called Luisa. Along the way, the three become romantically involved, finding themselves in some very compromising situations. The age difference between the boys and Luisa isn't the only divide in the film, however. Each scene in the movie drives the friends further apart, ending in Julio confessing to Tenoch that he slept with his friend's mother, hence the name of the film.
Trabajar en la resistencia.
Seguro se vino antes que yo.
Que tenéis que dejar las pajas los dos.
No, ni madre, ¿qué va a pasar con él?
Number 4. The Reader.
Go back to your party. Is that what you want?
Michael, a 15-year-old kid, wanders the streets of 1958 Berlin. By chance, he meets Hannah, a 36-year-old woman, who helps him when his health deteriorates due to a bad case of scarlet fever. The two begin an intense affair up until Hannah is promoted at her job, forcing her to leave Michael behind. Some years later, Michael discovers the shocking truth behind Hannah's identity. She used to be a Nazi guard and is now facing trial for her actions during World War II. The movie is full of surprising plot twists such as that, and the truth is never as simple as it might seem. Due to the graphic nature of the intimate scenes between Hannah and Michael, the production had to be delayed until after the actor, who played the boy, David Cross, turned 18.
You can't be serious.
That's enough for today, kid.
I was wondering, do you think you could get some time off?
Number 3. Murmur of the Heart.
Che la tua mamma va fatto un gonnello e ve l'ha fatto bellino rotondo.
It's completely normal for a kid to love his mother. Some of them, however, take it to dangerous extremes, such as the case of the young Laurent Chevalier in 1971's Murmur of the Heart. Laurent has a complicated relationship with his attractive Italian mom, Clara. And we don't mean complicated in a psycho sort of way, it's something much more Oedipal than that. A coming-of-age dramedy, Murmur of the Heart was well received by French and American critics. Louis Malle, the writer and director of the film, has mentioned that the movie is autobiographical, but the incestuous relationship is only part of the story that's made up. Either way, this is definitely a film that you shouldn't watch with your mom.
Tu sais, il voyait les choses autrement, lui. Il faisait des projets. Il organisait ma vie autour de la sienne.
Et nous alors? Il est gonflé?
Number 2. Harold and Maude.
Greet the dawn with a breath of fire.
Harold is a young man obsessed with death. Maude is a septuagenarian concentration camp survivor who lives life to its fullest. This unlikely pair eventually fall for each other in Harold and Maude, an existentialist comedy the likes of which could only have been made in the 70s. This movie bears the distinction of featuring the most significant age gap on our list. Harold is 19 years old when he meets and eventually falls in love with Maude, who is 79. Despite the wacky antics seen in the movie, the plot is, in fact, a touching analysis of the value of life and how delicate and valuable each small moment can be. Harold and Maude's director, Hal Ashby, wanted to film a scene of the two lovebirds making love. However, Paramount Pictures vehemently opposed the idea. It could be said that this decision added an extra layer of cuteness to the relationship between the two, as it never was portrayed as a purely carnal affair.
Vice virtue. It's best not to be too moral. You cheat yourself out of too much life.
Our number 1 pick is The Graduate.
That's how you feel about me, that I'm a sick and disgusting person.
Now, don't start this.
What?
Don't start acting hurt.
The film that launched Dustin Hoffman's career and became an icon of the comedy genre for years to come, 1967's The Graduate remains as one of cinema's most successful examples of a MILF romance flick. Hoffman plays the role of Ben Braddock, a young college graduate that's grown disillusioned with his life. However, his love for the young and beautiful Elaine Robinson gives him a new purpose. That is, until he meets Mrs. Robinson. Elaine's mom is a seductive woman who uses her womanly assets to drive Ben and Elaine apart. A charming coming-of-age story that teaches us that not every happy ending remains happy forever. Anne Bancroft plays the role of Mrs. Robinson, and her beauty and charm, no doubt, made her the subject of many fantasies in the 70s. Regarded as one of the most influential films of the 60s, The Graduate can be seen as the anthem of an increasingly cynical youth. The quote, "Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you?" will forever be etched into the annals of cinema history and is a prime example of the awkward chemistry of most MILF-related romances. The Graduate was highly praised by critics, even if some of the film's events could be considered somewhat out of touch by modern standards. That said, audiences still love Dustin Hoffman's awkward energy and Anne Bancroft's alluring personality, as the film scores an impressive 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb.com.
I want you to promise me that.
Look, why the hell did you bring this up? It never occurred to me to take her out.
Then give me your word you won't.